812 News Talk, Saga 960, Raw, Mike Richards. As we hit now the second week of September, and it certainly for a lot of people doesn't feel like a normal second week of September, just because the world has certainly worked differently since March. And we all know the reason why, but there are certain things that are always consistent. I would say when you get hay fever or if you have allergies in September, regardless of what's going on in the world, you can feel it, you can see it. And for people who suffer from, now, is this called, and we've got Jennifer coming on here, retinitis. Did I say that right? Or is that not even, was that Spanish?
Is that what you're...
Seasonal allergic rhinitis.
Rhinitis.
Yeah. Rhinitis. You say rhinitis, I say rhinitis. It's all known as hay fever. And Jennifer Duggan joining us here this morning from Bell Lifestyle Products. Thanks so much for joining us. Great to see you again. And as I said, people can't see right now. And I know, don't get mad, Twitch people, when I say that. They're like, if you were on Twitch, then we would see how lovely she looks. But you're bright and summery. And as you said, you're going to just hang on to this summer for a little bit, right?
I refuse to admit fall is here. That's right.
Hey, good morning.
Now, for a lot of people, you know, you can tell, like my dad used to have this, and once it got towards the beginning of school, and he was a school teacher, you know, you could just see it in his eyes, the throat clearing and so on. How common is it for people to actually have this? Because you know, it seemed like it was more common beforehand, but I'm not in this industry. So how many people really get affected by it percentage wise? Because it seems like it's a lot.
Yeah, so I would say probably 1 in 6 Canadians suffer with some kind of seasonal allergy. And I actually feel it's getting more prevalent, probably for a couple of reasons. Our Western lifestyle, we tend to be more inflamed and so more sensitive. Climate change, so our growing season is longer. And as a society, as we've become more conscientious about the environment and we're using less pesticides, these weeds, these things that we're commonly allergic to, are proliferating. So there's a bunch of different reasons that we're all kind of suffering with this kind of thing, or many of us are.
So what is it that it affects us physically? What are we ingesting that causes this?
So it really, it's very individual. Typically this time of year in the fall, it's pollen that comes from a weed, so ragweed or goldenrod, something like that. For people who have spring allergies, it's often like grass or tree pollen, because that's when they're producing their pollen. So it really depends on the season, but I'm a fall sufferer, but I'm also allergic to things like dust and cats, and so your body can really have an abnormal reaction to anything, and it's very individual.
Yeah, it certainly is. Jennifer, some of the things that people can do to fight allergies, or at least fight them off. I know you cannot clear it completely, that is impossible, but maybe take us through some of the means, as well as product number 24, which is taken in our family, the allergy relief from Bell Lifestyle Products.
Yeah, so I'll just start with like general things that we should be doing, and it's pretty common stuff. We need to be taking care of ourselves. So eat well, eat clean. You know, if you're putting a lot of processed foods, your body is inflamed. It's dealing with all of that, and it's just making you more sensitive, without a doubt. Maintaining a good body weight, movement, some kind of exercise. I'm a runner. You don't have to be a runner, but be something. Be a walker, be a baseball player, be a hockey player, whatever. It's really key to our bodies working well, and it's very important, and it can definitely help with these kinds of things. So getting sleep, all these kind of things, because the more stressed your body is, the more irritated it is to begin with, the more sensitive it's going to be to anything that you are already sensitive to. So in general, these are great rules for keeping yourself in good shape across the board, not just for allergies. And then, of course, typically when someone has an allergy, they reach for pharmaceutical solutions. There's lots of over-the-counter pharmacy, and I just thought I'd quickly explain what they're doing. What they do is they block the histamines, and histamines are what our body releases when we're introduced to something we're allergic to. So our body says, "Oh no, this is bad. This is going to," it's like thinking it's an infection or a bacteria or something we want to fight. So it releases these histamines, and these histamines are what causes all of our symptoms. And the pharmaceutical options block those histamines. So of course they're very effective, but they don't really address the cause or the reason that we're having the allergy. And oftentimes there's a lot of side effects. So I've taken these personally for years, long before I joined Bell or even discovered that natural was something that I could consider. And things like drowsiness and fatigue, rapid heartbeat and headaches, these are things, anxiety, actually that's another one that is commonly said when people take these over-the-counter pharmaceutical solutions. So for me, it was huge to sort of think, gee, there's something I can do that's a little bit more gentle and a little bit more natural. So I was thrilled when I joined Bell. This is one of the first products I ever tried when I joined Bell. It was very successful for me. I take it every year.
Now, is it one of those things that you take on a daily basis so it's in your system?
Yeah. So for myself, if it's my season, I'll begin taking my allergy relief several months before my season kicks in. So that's usually end of August, mid-September, anywhere in that range that I'll start getting all my allergy symptoms. I begin taking this in June.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
what I'm doing is I'm already introducing positive pathways in my body so that when my allergy season hits, I'm already ready to go. Like my body's already done some of the work and adopted this. And I'll do that every year. And I'll tell you, year after year, this has worked better and better and better. So I really, really encourage everybody, when you're looking at a natural formulation, don't expect it to be like a pharmacy. A pharmacy takes over and does it for you.
Yeah.
And a natural herbal product is asking your body to do the work. And that takes more time, but it's more beneficial because it's long-term, right? You're going to get long-term overtime benefits.
Gotcha. Now you mentioned you start in June. Is that because you probably need a good solid 30 days, maybe a little bit more, to have the body understand what is entering the system and how to, I guess, manufacture all the solid products that it's receiving?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the formulation. And the thing that I love about this formulation and all our formulations is they never do just one thing. They're addressing an issue from many different angles. So in an allergy case, you have your symptoms, right? So you have those itchy, watery eyes, you've got the runny nose, that dry, scratching throat, the sneezing, which, by the way, I do not want to go out into the world now and look like I'm sick at all. So this is even more important now than ever. Then you have the actual cause, which is that release of histamines, right? So that pathway that's occurring. And then you have finally, in essence, the cause of an allergy is an imbalanced immune system. It's a Th2 dominant immune system. And so you're going to continue to have it unless you can balance out that immune system. So the formulation in Bell Lifestyle number 24 Allergy Relief is looking at all of those issues, all those aspects of the allergy reaction, and taking them all into consideration with different herbs. So they're addressing all of them. So for example, the symptom relief, and again, we were talking about me starting so early, it's because I don't want I want to have my symptom relief and my histamine blockers and my immune balancing all happening long before I get exposed to the things that cause me to react. So that's why I'm taking it so far in advance.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's interesting, some of the properties and what's in it, because once again, it's all natural. I always joke about everything seems to have oregano. This one has basil. Is it called holy basil?
Holy basil, yeah.
Holy basil, which isn't like holy basil, like
Holy basil.
Yeah,
it is
actually,
not basil. It is
yeah.
a different plant. But holy basil is an adaptogen, and actually a lot of people if you're in the herbal world, you'll know it as a stress sort of reliever. It modulates stress in the body. But that herb is doing in this ingredient is actually helping to balance out that immune system. So creating the balance in the immune system, so that as you take this every year, year over year, I can testify because I've done it. You get less of a reaction to the things that you're reacting to, that you typically would go, what?
You know, I never thought of it beforehand, but you're right. If you're representing something called Bell Lifestyle Products, you kind of don't want to be sick or appear to be under the weather when you're approaching potential clients and you're going, yeah, you might want to try
Yeah.
number 72 because it makes you feel great. Yeah, I guess so. And what is is it lobelia? Is that how you pronounce that?
Lobelia, yeah.
Yes, that seems to be significant in that, you know, a lot of what we think of when it comes to allergies is the mucus part of it, because that buildup is really annoying for people, whether it's coughing, clearing the throat, in the eyes.
Yep.
So I assume that is probably pretty important to this this ingredient.
Yeah, the lobelia and the peppermint, they're actually addressing kind of the breathing aspect of it, because that kind of tightening in the chest and that, you know, so they're relieving those kinds of symptoms. Which again, and that's why I say this. So the formulation has combination of herbs, and you've got that immune balance, you have that histamine blockage, and then you also have that symptom relief.
Well, that is, it's very timely. As I said, as we speak, I am sure people are going, what am I supposed to do? The one thing that I've learned, and certainly with our relationship with Bell is the natural products, they promote your body doing the work as opposed to grabbing pharmaceuticals. The one thing about it, not that, you know, there aren't and there isn't a place for the medicinal purposes when it comes to pharmaceuticals, but there are a lot of side effects, and some of those side effects can be really tough for people. They makes them feel groggy, or as you said, the right now with what we understand with anxiety, the anxiousness sometimes that comes with this really has a detrimental effect, to be honest. And so a lot of people will go even south of the border to grab like Zyrtec, for instance, and they'll get the American version. Well, it's good if it works, but this is telling you to do it the natural way. And it's very, very effective. And I said, the research that goes into these products, this is definitely not overnight, Dave, right? We've learned just how, you know, really some of these recipes are literally like 1,000 years old. This is ancient natural medicines. And trust me, these things, just like we say in the commercial, these things work. So if you're interested, what number are we talking about? Is this 24?
Number 24, Allergy Relief, is the name of the product. They can find more information at www.belllifestyleproducts or 1-800-333-7995.
Excellent. Jennifer, thanks so much for this morning. Always appreciate the time, and great job today as always.
Nice to see you guys. Have a great day.
Jennifer Duggan joining us here this morning from Bell Lifestyle Products, talking about Allergy Relief number 24. And as I said, like all the products, this has been heavily researched. This is not even easy to get on the marketplace. I mean, it is very stringent, and you see that the results are excellent because they do such a great job.